In a recent video, I shared with you guys that there was a young man in 8th grade. His name is Elijah, and that he was in the hospital for what they thought, the doctors thought, was just like a mental breakdown, but Elijah's mom saw a demonic entity leaving his room. And then this happens to him. And so through email, I was asked if I could reach out to you guys and we would pray for this young man. And we did together on this channel. I'm sure a lot of you, many of you, I know many of you that you do pray. And you know how to pray. You've learned how to actually pray so that you have your faith attached to that prayer and it's not wavering, right? You take authority over the situation, speaking to the problem as Christ would speak to it. Go, right? Christ knew who he was. He knew what he had in him, and he knew how to use it and use it well. So there's many of us that are learning this and practicing it and developing it. When Christ prayed to his Father, he never said, "Father, will you free this person of a demonic entity or of a sickness, if it be your will?" He never said that. He just took authority over it. And if you have Christ in you, that's what you should do. Take authority. Stop praying old covenant, begging and pleading. When I actually reach out and ask for you guys to pray, I'm not saying beg. When I say pray, I'm talking about taking the authority you have in you and using it, right? Well, so the good news is I was contacted by Elijah's father through email recently, and he said Elijah is now home and doing well. So thank you guys. Thank you for your unwavering faith, and thank you for praying along with me on that video, and also for taking authority, using what God has given you. So this isn't a joke to me, and it's not a religious thing to me. I know there's people that might watch my channel and think, "Oh boy, such a religious nut," or all this Christ stuff. There's a whole bunch of people that think I'm a joke, you know, and that's all right. I'm not out to impress anybody or anything like that. Trust me, there's times where I'm like, should I keep doing these videos? Not because there might be people that think I'm a joke. Sometimes I wonder, should I keep on going? You question yourself, like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Should I be doing it? And then I have people contacting me. They reach out for prayer all the time. This happens all the time, you guys, if you only knew. And if you only knew the testimonies I get from people that ask for me to pray, it's amazing. And it makes me really see, like, wow, it causes me to see how important it is to keep on going with this, because it's like that story of a boy that was on the beach, and there were all these washed up starfish all over the beach. And he's like throwing these starfish one by one back into the ocean, although there's thousands and thousands of starfish that actually washed up on the shore. And this journalist just so happens to be walking in the distance and wondering what's this boy doing up ahead. And when he gets close, he sees all these washed up starfish and this young boy picking one up and throwing it back. And there's thousands of them. And he asks the young boy, like, what are you doing? You know, I mean, you really think you're making a difference? There's so many starfish. Come on. And the young boy looks at the journalist, picks up a starfish, and throws it back into the ocean. And he looks at the journalist and says, it made a difference to that one. Right? So it's very important. I mean, I'm not saying that all the people on earth contact me, Michael Lehre, for prayer requests or for deliverance or anything like that, you know? But for those that do, and I get a really good report coming back to me, which is so often and so awesome, it encourages me to keep on going and to do what I'm doing, no matter what others might think of me or not. It doesn't matter, right? So what I want to encourage you guys today is, you know, don't panic. Panicking is one of the worst things you can do for yourself. It's not going to do you any benefit to panic. Panic makes your faith waver, right? Like when we reached out, or when that family reached out to have me and you guys pray for their son Elijah, and we did, you know, I was contacted just almost immediately, like right after that. Didn't seem like it was working because he was really acting out. Like, can our son be possessed? Possibly. I mean, he's a believer. Can he still be possessed? You know, because the things that were coming out of his mouth, I guess. And so, you know, that can get people worried. Like, is that the prayer's not working? It must not be working because the opposite, it seems to be happening. Listen, that is something that is very common. You're praying for something, believing for something, taking authority over something, and what happens? Some form of opposition tries to get in the way so that your faith will waver. You understand? Almost like, let's call faith an umbilical cord. You know what an umbilical cord is, right? It attaches the baby to the mother. And then when the baby comes out, they snip the umbilical cord. Now the baby's not attached by the umbilical cord anymore. If you can compare faith to an umbilical cord and wavering faith to cutting that umbilical cord, you understand what I'm talking about? You want to actually keep your faith attached to what you're believing for. So I encourage you guys, you know, no matter what it is, you know, it's a struggle not to panic. It sounds easy, just don't panic. Yeah, easier said than done, buddy. I know, I understand that. And so does God. And he inspired the writer of the book of Hebrews to say in chapter 4, verse 11 of Hebrews, that it's a struggle or a labor. Labor means struggle. It's a struggle to enter into God's rest. If you're in God's rest, that means you're not panicking. You're not letting it get to you. You're not letting your faith waver. You're keeping that umbilical cord attached instead of snipping it. You understand? So when you're at a place of rest, you're at a place of trust. And it's not easy. That's why it sounds kind of like an oxymoron to say labor to rest. But I understand it. I get it. Yep. Totally makes sense to me. It's a struggle to rest, to trust. But you got to do it. Because not doing it's not going to help you. Anyway, I hope this message has blessed you. Good news about Elijah. Thank you, everybody, for your prayers. Remember, when you're believing for something, don't panic. It's not going to help you anyway. Labor to rest. If you have to, labor to rest. All right? And I'll talk to you all next time. Have a great day.